Yo. It's amazing. You tell your kids, you tell your family you're gonna go on a live, and they're right outside your office. They make all the noise they want. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you guys hear it. I apologize. It's my bad. I should have put gags on them. What's up, guys? We're just hanging out. We're here, ready. We're just waiting. We're gonna be talking about UPXI. That's right, UPXI. Damn, this lighting is actually pretty damn good right now. I like it. All right. We'll wait for you guys to, stroll on in here. We'll see how many of you get in here and do your thing. Yeah, it's way brighter. That's okay, though. It's okay. We're not afraid, right? What's up, Elijah? How are you? I don't know why I have to approve fireballs. That is weird. I have to approve 3 fireballs. What in the heck is going on here? Yep. Yep. All right. Let's see. What's up? UPXI looks good for tomorrow, I think. Jonathan, what's up, man? Missed you this morning. Where were you? Slacker? What happened? Just slacked off, did you? I get it. You know how I feel about that? That's how I feel about it. Oh, man. Where's Cornelius? He should be here. He's coming. I know he's coming. He's got to be coming. He's coming. On my mama. What's up, Cardinal? Riley ran a bit today, but is it still going to run up? Yeah, that was nothing. This is we're talking about a squeeze here. It's going to squeeze. Like, hang on. Wait, is there a button? That's not it. That's not it either.
Shut up, man. Do it.
I'm just having fun with this thing. All right, let's see.
Come on, do it.
Yeah. I think it's still gonna go. It's gonna be fast. I mean, as long as you have your tickets,
Access granted.
You'll be available to come in there. It's my new little soundboard here. I'm such a dork, I know. Where is Cornelius? Where is he? What is he doing? On my mama. I invite him. Is he on? Let's see. Is he on? I don't see him. I don't see him. All right. Well, either way, we were talking about UPXI. All right. It had some fun today. It ran just a little above $12 today. And then it took a break again. But if I were to flip the screen for you, or those of you that are on YouTube, you can actually see it already. Here we go. So look at that huge cup and handle that you have right there. That is a ginormous cup and handle. Yeah, I think that'll work out. That's a 5-minute, 5-day chart. So let's take that and dial it down a little bit. Let's do 10 days, 30 minutes. Still a ginormous cup and handle, wouldn't you say? So that's why I think it's going to still move. Again, like what TNON, like all these other ones that literally took off for no reason and ran. So for whoever's at the door.
Access denied.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Somebody opened the door. I think it was my kid or someone spooky. But yeah, so how are you guys doing today? Hope you guys made some money. Did you? Did you guys make some money? Maybe. I do not see him. It is 5. That means it's 3 hours ahead, so it's 8 o'clock there. No, GLYC broski. Do you think so, huh? What's up, Andy? I have music and stuff now. It's fun. What stocks are we looking at? We were going to be talking about UPXI and the stuff that's going on with it, but let's take a look at GYLC. I think that was. We looked at it earlier today. Yeah, GLYC. There it is, actually at the top of the list. This is a 10-day, 30-minute chart. The reason I say 10-day, 30-minute chart is because on Thinkorswim, it actually gives you a day length so that you see what the high of that, that time period is. So there it is. Okay, so let's take a look-see. It was good. It was a good start right in pre-market. It ran pretty good. Ran from, what is that? From about 23 cents all the way up to 49 cents. 63 cents during the day. It kind of looks like it's formed a huge head and shoulders pattern on GLYC. I don't know if you guys see that. This is a 10-day, 30-minute chart. So 30-minute chart, right? You got a big old head and shoulder, or you got a big old double top. One top, two top, right there. So either way, I don't see this thing going back up. I see this thing going woo and coming back down. That's just me on GLYC. That's just my opinion. What's up, Stinky Pinky? How are you? This is, oh shit. What happened, Rick Crypto? Why are you crying? Cause I said it's gonna go down? Dude, I'm not a professional. I mean, this is not financial advice. I'm just sitting here messing around. So yeah, that's it. So we're just waiting. We're just gonna see when On My Mama comes into the room, the boss, the man, with the plan for UPXI. We shall see. Doing better today? Not so much. Just trying to stay excited and be happy about being on this side of the ground, I guess. Lots of pressure in the chest, but it's okay. I'm drinking a lot of water. We're good. We're good. What's up, Gary Lee? You want to talk about STBX? STBX, huh? All right. Has acquisition news. That's why the pop today. Oh, look at that. Well, that's awesome. That might be a really good thing, Possibly. What's up, Jay Trader? You guys ready to talk about some stocks? I mean, we can have an applause or maybe a boo. Okay, guys, the man you've all been waiting for. Let's give him an applause. Here's On My Mama.
That was easy.
What's up, dude? I'm just messing around with this thing. Did you see? I got a soundboard.
I saw you got the little thing that you put.
I did. I got no. Well, I got a button, and then I was thinking, it'd be kind of fun to kind of spice it up a little bit. And this thing's got a bunch of things, like a rubber ducky.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Come on, do it. Do it.
Now I don't have to tell the stocks to go up. I can just say, do it.
Do it.
I guess it's the small things in life, right?
It really is.
It really is.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming and hanging out and telling us about what you think. I've also got this recording on the YouTube thing because that way I can just bring it on here and people can see it clear.
Yeah, so I know that one of your subscribers, they had bought in on UPXI. So
Right.
again, for me, let me just start off by saying I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Again, I'm just sharing what I have learned based on my knowledge of the SEC filings as well as some of the press releases that are published. And again, this is based off of experience of reading those filings as well as seeing what they do to the stock post mortem, right?
Right.
So you'll have a stock that runs and it'll run 400%. And over the past 3 years, I go back, I do a post mortem, meaning I go back, I reread the filings, I go back like 6 months, I look and see what was filed, what did I miss, and I create a scenario of what's going to happen the next time with probabilities, right? Because nothing is ever 100% guaranteed.
Never.
Things do happen, they do change, and not everything runs the way you expect it to every single time. So, with that being said, UPXI, I remember that morning too because you were streaming and I popped back in the stream. This was when I was taking my daughter to school, and I popped back in the stream and I was like, "Hey, this one's running."
Right.
And there was some news in regards to it. So this stock had just done a reverse split, I think like a couple of days prior, and the stock has been trading below, or sorry, after the reverse split. Hold on, let me pull up PXI. After the reverse split, the stock, and again, the numbers have changed now, but if I'm not mistaken, this was under like 500,000. And again, forgive me because it's been a couple of days, so, and I
Right.
look at multiple stocks every day. So again, the outstanding shares, the float, I think it was the float that was under 500,000. And the company published a PR basically stating that, and if you wanted to pull up the PR, J Rock, then that way you can look at it. But
Yep.
in a nutshell, the company basically said, hey, listen, we did a reverse split based upon our shareholder record. This is how many fractional shares that the brokers would need to conclude all of their half shares that needed to be reissued or rounded up, right? So
Right.
if you ended up not having enough, they were going to round up X amount of the shares, and they were estimating I think 199,000, right? And the brokers were requesting like 225,000, right? A lot more than what they initially was supposed to be. So that kind of tells you that hey, listen, there's no reason for the brokers to be requesting this many more shares unless they had naked shorts that were in. I say naked shorts, but that there were shorts that were in this stock when it reverse split, causing there to be more shares that were due to whoever was loaning out the shares,
Right.
right? And that's what I gathered from that information right there. And I think you actually have some of it highlighted. So if you wanted to take a minute and like just read that for everyone, or maybe we'll just pause and everybody can just read it for themselves.
You want me to read the whole thing, or do you want me to just read?
No, just I think just the important. I don't need to know about the company. I just want to know
Right.
probably the first 2 or 3 paragraphs.
Yeah. So probably right
What's
here.
it?
So prior
Yeah.
to the company's required announcement regarding the reverse stock split on September 27, 2024, UPXI estimates that there were less than 5,000 shareholders of record. Post split, 5 brokerage firms have requested roundup shares equaling approximately 199,059 shares of the company's common stock out of a total 202,183 roundup shares of the company's common stock requested. The 202,183 Roundup shares requested is approximately 19% of the company's outstanding shares of common stock post split, and represent an increase of approximately 40 times the number of individual shareholders owning the company's common stock. The foregoing activity appears to have occurred during the 3-day trading period between the reverse split announcement and the effective date of reverse split.
Okay. So from that, I gathered that there were some inaccuracies in regards to this statement from the company. And again, this is just, I don't have insider information. I'm just looking at the chart and it doesn't make sense to me. And I think once we take a look at the chart, we'll understand why 3 days prior to the reverse split, the initial reverse split, it doesn't make sense that they would have had that many more shares that were purchased, because right before the reverse split, there was like no shares traded, really. It was like 500,000 that were traded on 10-2. The day before that, it was like 800,000. The day before that, it was 1.3 million.
So there's the
Right?
split right there. And this is a 4-hour chart.
Yep. So I'm actually looking at it on a daily, but again, it's just when you look at the information, right, on a daily, and you add up all the candles, it to me, there's nothing strange or out of the out of the ordinary, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen companies that do reverse splits. That there is like 300 million shares traded the day before they do a split, and none of what happened with this ticker happened with them.
Yeah, this
And
is actually kind of weird because this one right here, this is literally what, the 20, actually this is, what is this? What day is this? This is 10-2 right here, right before the reverse split. And this candle right here only has 29,000 traded. And this is the daily. This one only has 68,000. This one has 172,000. So nothing crazy is going on.
But what I will tell you is, if you go back and look at 8.5,
8.5.
right? That's a crazy candle, right? So again, this is where, there you go.
Oh yeah, there it is right there.
This is where a postmortem is. It again, it's, for me, it's important because it gives me an idea of what the script was that was written for this stock. And I think, right, when you go back and you look at 8.5, somebody bought in and never sold. Like, again, that's what it looks like to me. And again, I have the national best bid and offer. So again, my candles are mixed of the dark pool and traded shares. While I think, J Rock, you're only going to see the NASDAQ shares. But on that day, on 8.5, there was 51 million shares that were traded.
Yeah, I only see on this day, I only see 2.5 million traded.
And again, this is gonna be one of those, like, trust me, bros, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's, for me, it was 51 million shares traded in this stock on 8.5. And when you add up all of the days, right, all of the other days of trading with shares and whatnot, you get a total of like maybe 10 million. So again, you have 51 million shares minus, like, let's go high, 11 million. You still end up with 40 million shares that someone is holding, right?
Jeez.
And again, I'm not saying there is not market manipulation, but this was not done 3 days prior to the reverse split. That's bullshit, right? And we see that based on the candles, right?
Right.
We see that there's nothing. We've seen enough reverse splits to know when there's like some shenanigans going on, where you have 300 million traded shares and the total outstanding shares is only like 5 million. And we're like, how did it trade 300 million times? Like, how is that possible, right? There was none of those shenanigans, as far as I can tell, here, because the candles were not we're not that manipulated, right?
Right.
Because if you look at it on a daily, the candles are pretty much like a flat, almost like a pancake.
Yep.
Like,
This is the daily.
yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it's like there is nothing really crazy off of these candles. And again, for me, it's like you're telling me that 3 days before this reverse split, somebody bought enough shares to cause you to now have to be issued X amount additional of fractional shares to the point where you needed to put out a press release. And what I'm saying is, there's no fucking way, right? This shit was done way in advance, and it was done from 8/5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That.
And again, that's just based on my experience. Again, I'm not a professional, right? I don't write any algos or any of those things. I'm just telling you what I see from the chart and my experience of sitting in my chair for 16 hours, reading these filings and dissecting them post mortem and as these things are moving. And it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So on that day, right, I think I'd come back into the chat and I'd mentioned this ticker and it ran after that news.
Oh yeah. Ran
And
at $15.
Yep.
From
And what I will
$2.
tell you is when you go back, right, and you can do like a Google search, right, and you can do like market manipulation or stocks that have put out PR on market manipulation. I can remember MULN did that, right? Market manipulation. SMX did that, market manipulation. AREB did that at one point, market manipulation. You had TRA, nah, it wasn't Troika. It was shit. I can't remember right now, but there was like several, and it was all around the same time where all of these stocks put out market manipulation.
Right.
And it was they hired like Wes Christensen to go and
yeah.
investigate this lawsuit, and it would share intel. And what I'm telling the people that are listening, don't fall for the bullshit. It is a part of the pump, right? Because you think, oh, there's going to be something here, and it's going to squeeze to like $900 million, and
it's going to the moon. It's going to the moon.
What I'm telling you is, it's not going to happen because what they end up doing is they sell into the pump to satisfy these conditions so that they can keep the girl on the street, aka the stock on the NASDAQ out front so people can buy and trade and play with the volatility.
Right.
That's what they do, right?
Makes sense.
So again, when you think about it, right, and this company now is saying, hey, listen, of all of our shares, this is going to be over 20%. So what does that mean? They're going to need to vote. Unless, right, because that's a NASDAQ rule, that a company cannot issue more than 20% of its outstanding shares without having a shareholder vote, except for companies that are listed in like 4 states. And J-Rock, you can either Google it or you can like use your chat GPT bot. But there are 4 states, and I can tell you one of them is Nevada, and one of them is Maryland.
Let's see what she says.
I want to say one of them is Colorado, but I don't remember. It's 4 of them though.
What's the question?
It's what states do not require a shareholder vote to issue shares?
All right, she's thinking. Oh, she was thinking. What states do not require a vote? Wait. Shit, I messed that up. Gosh darn it. All right, she's not listening. She's fucked up. She's listening, but she's fucked up. All right, so let's see. What states do not require? I'll just type it into Google here.
And again, it's not often that these states come up. Nevada definitely comes up a lot because there's a lot of entities that are listed out of Nevada, but not a lot out of Maryland. And the other 2 states, they don't come up a lot. But it's good to know the 80% of the shares into the market because they don't need it. The board of directors can just say, hey, this is what we're doing. It's in the best interest of the company.
So is the question, what states do not require a vote for shareholder approval?
Yes. What states do not require shareholder approval to issue shares?
All right. Shareholder approval to issue shares. To issue shares. There you go. All right, here we go. According to available information, Nevada is the state that does not require shareholder approval to issue authorized shares, meaning the board of directors can issue new shares without a shareholder vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says there, and then I'm sure there's going to be more here. It was AI overview.
Yeah, and like I said, there are four. I know Maryland is not one of them as well, and I know there are two more, but again, it slips me at this moment because they don't come up often, right? Because majority of the companies are in Delaware, and it's because of the Court of Chancery in Delaware, and it's just it's a state that is, when you register a company, it is going to be on the side of the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily people who are trying to sue the company. It's favorable towards the companies. That's why a lot of companies are registered in Delaware. So again, there are four, but for this purpose, we just need to find out, where is this stock, like, where are they housed? Where are they housed out of, right?
Right.
And you should be able to find that from their filings to see exactly, because it'll tell you, it's like, oh, it's Washington. Nope, that's the SEC's.
UPXI, right here, Tampa, Florida.
Okay, so they're out of Florida. Now again, I don't think Florida is one of those. I think you need a shareholder vote in Florida. But again, like I said, this will be homework, right? You guys can go on to the web and use your fingers. What four states do not require shareholder approval?
Oh,
to
here we go.
issue shares,
Here we go.
right?
You know what? Hey, they don't. They don't need it because, yeah, I mean, if where they've been incorporated is this, it says right here, state or other jurisdiction of incorporation, Nevada.
There you go.
So there you go. So they don't need a vote.
There you go. So again, I go back to, and this is why today when I looked at, and I don't think I did a screen grab or anything. Normally, when I look at tickers, I always do a screen grab, right? Because Webull and these other platforms, they have APIs that go out and they grab information from news articles, and majority of the time it's the SEC filings,
Right.
and they will update, right? UPXI. They will update all of the information. So your total outstanding shares, all of that information gets updated as it's like happening. So you guys don't actually see a change in the amount of outstanding shares. So like I said, I don't think I grabbed and I'm just looking through my notes and seeing if I did it. So nothing has changed thus far, right? Because on that day it was 754,000 on the float, and then it was 1.04 million shares issued and outstanding. So the question for me now is, and again, this is on that day, right?
Right.
Do you have it where this company is saying, hey, we're going to need to issue 20%? And the first question that popped into my mind was, well, do you need my vote to do that? And if you need my vote to do that, great, because I'm going to vote no. But if you don't need my vote, I'm not holding this shit because it's a hot pile of shit, right?
Stinky
It's just
dookie.
waiting for them to dump those shares into the market, right? And again, one of your subscribers that was asking me a question in regards to this stock, and I told him, I was like, and I think initially, like when it ran, I sent you my price targets for this thing, and it hit. It hit three of the four. 20, I think $21 was my $23 was the out of the way price target. and it hit the $15, it hit the $11, it hit the $9, and again it hit it again today. Not the 15,
hit $12 today.
Yep. So again, this is one of those where if I was, and I didn't play this today, right? I was looking at other stocks and other tickers and things like that. But if I were tracking this, right, this is one of those that I would have waited for the pullback. And if you're looking at it on a 5-minute chart, and I'll tell you where I would have gotten in.
That's it right here.
Yep, I would have gotten in on the fair value gap. And I don't know if J-Rock, if he played fair value gaps or not. However, I look at fair value gaps because that's a place on the charts where price moved so fast, right, that it didn't have enough of a chance to transact the total amount of shares that were sitting at that spot. So as an example, if there was 1 million shares that somebody wanted to buy at that fair value spot, however, somebody just kept overbidding, right? So it was at $5 and somebody said, I'm bidding 505. And next thing you know, they're like, fuck it, I'm bidding 530. And the next thing you know, fuck it, I'm bidding $6.
Right.
Well, it missed all of those transactions in between 535 and $6, right? So you have all of that, which is a fair value gap, which means that would theoretically be a fair value price, right? Because it got skipped and it needs to be filled, right? So my fair value gap is sitting around, and I'll tell you, is sitting around $6.07 to $6.42. And on Webull, usually I just use a square and I just run it right through. And you can see, like, you can start it back from, and the way that I came up with that, right? If you go back to 1024, right? 1024, and again, those numbers are 605 to 638, you will see that there is an actual physical gap, right? And I'm on a 5-minute chart.
Okay. Mm-hmm. 1024. Okay.
Yep, right there. You see it?
Yep.
Look at the gap.
That's a big gap.
That's your fair value gap. And if you use like a rectangle and just run it all the way across your screen up until today, you will see that fair value gap. Nope, too big. Go back up. And in between the two red candles.
Oh, right here?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you said 6. Yeah, I got it.
Yep. So right in between there, yep. And run it all the way across your screen, you will see that price actually comes back into that, right? After it breaks up on the 25th. Like, that's pretty much where price settles. It settles in that fair value gap and transacts. So again, that would have been my entry, my area. And if I would have gotten into that when it came back down and crested, right, I would have been able to take it from 650 back up to like 9, 10, 11, right? That would have hit my second target again. First target would have been 908, hit that for sure, 1165, and then it topped out at 1267, right? And then came back down. So again, that's my analysis, and that's what I did the day of when this thing was running. This is my analysis of UPXI. Again, I haven't seen anything that said that they've diluted, right? There have been no PRs,
right?
I haven't seen anything that says that they're going to dilute. I haven't seen anything. But be assured, if somebody is short on this stock, they're going to dilute, and they don't need your vote. So again, this is kind of like one of those. And for the ladies in the room, please don't take offense to this, but this is where you get in, you get a couple of pumps, and you get out and you leave and don't come back before you catch something. Right?
Something nasty.
Exactly. Like, again, because she's too thin, man. She's too thin, right? there's no substance behind these moves.
Yeah, it's
right?
gonna hurt.
Because they move so fast because you don't need a lot of volume to move the stock.
Right.
Because the float is only 750,000. And
Right.
imagine how many people are holding those shares now.
Oh,
Right.
God.
So again, this is where having a stop loss is important. Knowing your entry is important. Having an exit strategy is important. Again, for me, fair value gaps, those are important to understand, and the psychological levels, as well as the algos coming back down to fill those gaps.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, this thing's 754,000 free float, average volume 698,000. When I posted this, its volume was 7.47 million already, and that was 9 hours ago. So yeah, I mean, yeah, she's very fast.
So the other
fast
thing
girl.
I will tell you, Jay, is if you take a look at Webull and look at your large order flow, right, and look at that widget, and you can see if Webull is buying or the market is buying from the market, or is it being internalized, right?
There it is.
You can see that there is some sort of transactional thing happening with the stock, right?
Yep.
There's something happening. And I say that because we've looked at other stocks where this shit is fucking flat.
Yep.
Even after doing like 200 million in
Yeah,
one day,
something ridiculous.
the
Yeah.
fucking thing is flat, and there's no buying from the market at all. Which again, for me, based on just looking and again my experience based on sitting in this chair for 16 hours a day and reading the filings and so forth, you will have stocks that'll put up a massive, and I mean a massive amount of volume. Oh, look at GLYC.
Okay. Yeah. GLYC.
And look at the large order flow.
Okay. GLYC. There it is, right there. Large order flow. There you go. Flat, 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 flat. Boom.
And today.
Buying
right?
something.
Yep.
Yep. This is GLYC, as you guys can see right here. Yeah.
Yeah, so GLYC, and I will tell you, while it shows on yours, right,
Right.
that there was some kind of a selling or oozing out of shares into the market, on mine, it's
Still,
flat.
still flat.
I'll screenshot it and I'll send it to you just again so that you don't think I am making some of this
Gotcha.
this stuff up.
Gotcha. I mean,
No,
but if you
listen, and I will tell you, for me,
uh,
validation is key, right?
Right.
I mean, validate the information that you are receiving, as well as validate the information that anyone is telling you, because there are people in this space, meaning trading stock, and I just sent it to you on Discord. If you want to open your screen on another screen, or however you open Discord, but you can see that there, for me, there is no transactions that happen as far as large orders. Like there's nothing.
see, so that's his right there. All right, take a look, and then look at mine. Completely different. See that? Nothing.
Yep. And again, that's due to the NBBO data, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, while even in this part of Webull, you may be thinking, okay, well, there's some large order flows going in and out and blah, blah, blah. Really, for me, there isn't. It looks like it was almost like an even swap, because the flow in and the flow out is just about the same, except for maybe 15 million is the difference. It's again, it's minuscule, it's small compared to this fucking ticker today, GLYC, having a total share outstanding of 64 million shares.
Yep.
How did it trade 1.1 billion shares?
We got lucky.
Maybe, Either that or it's going to end up with a clap.
That's
I don't
a
know.
that's a thick girl doing a marathon.
Dude, it's but she's not even thick.
Well, but
It, it,
she's a little thicker than what we usually look at.
yeah, but what I'm saying is compared to like a stock that's like 250 million shares on the float, 100
Right.
million shares on the float.
Oh,
This is like your average next door neighbor chick, right? That's not overweight, that's not super thin,
dang,
that's
like
just right in the middle,
like
right?
girl next door type.
And
Oh man,
yeah,
killing me,
and
killing me.
now she's just ran from California
Yeah.
to New York.
Yeah.
Again, it makes no sense. It makes no sense
He did
when you look at that
one
and you
point
look at the movement.
1.12 billion. Jeez.
Yeah, and it makes no sense. And it's almost like they held the stock today in a range between 63 cents of the high and like 40 cents, 44 cents of the low. And it was some sort of a mechanism or something happening behind the scenes during that, during today in that price range. Again, I don't want to deviate from the stock that we're talking about, which is UPXY. However, it is important when you start looking at these different stocks to cross check and look at other stocks and say, why doesn't this thing? Why is there nothing? But this other stock has something. Like, why is this bleeding out into the market? And they've been able to contain this other stock that's traded 1 point something billion shares, which again doesn't make sense. So again, with UPXY, I don't know if your subscriber is still holding it. Again, I would encourage them to go back through, read the filings, right? And again, as I had mentioned to this person prior, repetition, right? For me, it's 3 years, 16 hours of constant repetition. It's just like going to the gym. It's just like learning how to write cursive. It's just like learning how to type fast. It's just like learning how to drive and not crash into stuff.
Right. I mean,
Repetition.
it's the stock market. You got to learn
Yeah,
patterns. You have to learn. I mean, like I think we were talking about it. You know, humans are creatures of habit. We do the
absolutely.
exact same shit every time. And that's
Yep,
what these guys are doing. They're doing the exact same shit every time.
absolutely. And like I said, for those who are interested, yes, this is UPXI. Um, for those who are interested, just go back, right? And go to Google and type in, market manipulation or stocks that say they've been market manipulated, or look up Wes Christensen and see how many tickers he's involved with, or look up Share Intel and look how many people are using them. And then you can backtrack, right? Get the ticker names and then go back and research the ticker, and you will see that they cried wolf. Maybe, maybe not, right? Maybe they cried wolf and it was really a cat that bit them,
Mm-hmm.
right? But nevertheless, they did the same thing. They said, hey, 911, we have market manipulation over here, and our stock should not be this. And somebody is requesting additional shares, which they should not be requesting additional shares. So that means they're short. And we need to hang them up by the pinky toe and yada yada yada. And I'm just like, in my
Yeah.
mind, I'm just waiting for the dump, right? And short sellers are waiting for the dump. They're waiting for that press release to say, we're going to do an offering. And I'll tell you the reason why it's coming. Because if these companies don't play ball, they will be delisted off the exchange for some reason or another.
Right. No more
Right?
play. No more play on the corner. No more making you money. Nothing.
That's it. Or the stock will be halted and it'll be like, investigation, stock halted. Well, if the stock is halted, my girl ain't making me no money. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I've got to play ball to a certain degree. And
Right.
I'm like, pump it to 20 and I'll dump shares at 20. Like, again, these are the kind of things that I think are happening in the background, right? So, again, don't be naive to think that these things are not happening. Be a skeptic and assume that they're happening until you find out that they're not happening. which
Right.
I don't think you'll ever find out that they're not happening, because there are some sleazy people out there, and this is how they make their bread, right? Or they make their, yeah, how they make their bread.
I mean, it's how these big guys get paid at these companies.
Absolutely,
Investors. That's it. And well,
absolutely.
you can call us whatever you want, but we're investors, and we're paying their salaries because we get into these things and we get all excited, and all of a sudden the rug pulls, and whoops.
Yep. We are talking about UPXI.
Yep. It's on the
Right.
screen, guys.
So yeah. So again, it's that's what I pulled from again. Now I know we covered a lot of different things, but if you're asking me what caused me to jump back into the chat, call out UPXI, and then look at it and then mark it out with my levels as far as my personal estimation on my targets,
Yep.
that one filing, those 3 or 4 paragraphs.
The 8K?
Again, yes, from the AK. Yep.
Six
again,
six days ago, right?
The,
Or this?
yeah,
Yeah, this was filed.
yeah, the one that initially caused that run,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay, yeah, this is it.
But again, that's what I pulled out of it, and that's what I was able to discern based off of seeing that same type of stuff, right? Not verbatim, but the same stuff, maybe tweaked a little word here or there, but the same bullshit in multiple different stocks previously. SMX, one of them. NXU, one of them, right? And I'm telling you, because I got caught in SMX at one point, and I had to sell for a loss, right? Because I was like, this shit is not coming back. And then I started looking into the CEO, and I'm like, you fucking did that.
Yeah, they just one day ago. One day ago.
I'm like, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what they do.
I mean, look how many 424B3s they've got right here.
SMX. Yep.
Wow.
So again, it's just important to spend time, repetition, over and over and over and over and over again.
It's a lot of fun. That's awesome, man. Well, thanks for sharing. I'm sure that somebody out there is gonna hear it and be like, "Holy shit! Wait a second. Wait a minute." Yeah, dude, that's great. That's great, and then hopefully, that one person that asked about it will get some insight, because, I mean, we all don't want to be holding a bag of dicks, and well,
no, for sure.
some of us get to hold more bags of dicks than we would like.
But again, even if you so again, I talk about fair value gaps, right?
Right.
And if you look at today, right, and I don't know if this thing is done, but it held 9 pretty well.
It did.
Right?
Yep.
And you see it push to 12, and it comes back and it fills like this fair value gap, which is basically sitting in between, where are we? In between $8.40 and around $7.84 today, right? And that's the level, and I'm on a 5-minute chart,
Yeah.
but that's the level that was where transactions needed to occur, right? Like you could see it pushed up, and this is where there are 3 phases in the market, right? If you look and you go back and look at it like yesterday, right?
Yep.
So yesterday was an accumulation phase, right? Coming out of the 25th in after hours. So you can see how it just, and I'll wait until J-Rob pulls it up.
Yesterday's the 28th. There it is, right there.
No, if you go back to the 25th.
25th. Gotcha.
Or sorry, 28th. Yeah, 28th. Sorry.
There's the 28th right here.
Yep. So you can see how even in pre-market, right, it just basically went sideways the entire day. So accumulation, right?
Yep.
You had it all the way in pre-market today. Market opens, manipulation all the way up, distribution all the way down into that area, which I talked about, $8.40 down to like $7.87 ish. Again, none of this stuff is really perfect, but
right.
That's where your transactions needed to happen, right? There's some bank or financial institutions that transacted majority of the transactions for almost half the day, right? In that area, in between this $8.40 and $8.16 to about $8.50.
Yeah.
So they transacted majority of the transactions in that area today, but they needed to get quote unquote liquidity, right? They
Right.
needed to get some Johns so that she can turn some of this money, right?
Yep.
So they pumped it all the way to 12 and then rubbed it, pushed it up again, said, "Nah, we're good. We're still in business." And then said, "Nope. The guy behind the door's got the thing, and he's just taking your money right now."
That's
And
it.
they bring you all the way back down, right? In between this area of $8 and again, 8.79 or 8.70 to $8.16. And that's where the transactions needed to happen today.
That's
Right?
it.
So, yeah. So again, just be cautious.
There's, and I mean, it's kind of like the same thing when we were talking about edible.
Yes.
Remember edible? Just a couple
Good
days.
news, and then they just
Dumped it.
bag of dicks on you.
But I mean, the script was that they needed to hit somewhat of a price of 40 cents. Well, they hit 36 and they dumped.
They needed to hit 36, but what they did is ran it to 46 cents, right? Because that was the price that they had already established in the filings for their warrant exchange, right?
Right.
The warrant exchange was at 36 cents. The price ran all the way beyond the point, and then it pulled all the way back so that they could transact around that level. So, and again, it's all. I promise you guys, all 70 of you or 68 of you, it is all in the filings. It's all there.
Yep.
You just have to be able to decipher it.
Yeah,
because it's like fucking hieroglyphics.
that, and when on my mama Cornelius gets his channel, you guys will all have a link to go there and learn this stuff from him, because I mean, hey, I didn't really dive into this stuff until he mentioned something. I mean, I looked at the stuff before, but it was the same thing. It was like, well, let's try to dissect it, see if I'm right, and if I'm right, okay, great. And then, it's so much reading. I just said, screw it. So then our buddy here comes on and schools us on it, and then I go, holy shit! It opened up my eyes. I said, you know what? Fuck watching the movie. I want to read the script.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. And once you have that mindset, dude, you'll know who's writing shitty scripts. You'll know H.C. Wainwright, Maxim, Canaccord, like you'll know what they're going to do, because they make these things cookie cutter, but not cookie cutter. They tweak a word, they tweak a date, they tweak a thing here or there, and it changes the amount of shares that gets exercised or what the price is that it comes down to.
Yep.
However, you have a foundation to understand what to look for.
Right. And so look, see, I've been doing my work. I've been doing it. There's pages of it now. And I figure if I read it at least once or twice before I get on, and then once or twice when I get off, then eventually I'll memorize it all and it'll all be good.
I'm telling you, man, it's like it changes everything, because, and I say that especially for you, because you already have the charts.
Right.
You already know like what's going to happen. So imagine when you're like, yeah, it's going to 46 cents, and then you go over to the filing and you're like, the filing say 46 cents. Holy fuck, this thing is really going to 46 cents.
Right. And then I could put out a better alert or a better like.
And then you see it happen. Right. You saw it on the chart, you saw it in the filing, and then you sat back and you watch it hit your target, and then drop from your like again. That's the level you want to be at.
Yeah.
And I say that because you already have the charting down. right? It's the charting is like the easier part of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
understanding the filings is the, and again for me, because I've been doing it so long, that's like second nature now. And the charting is easy for me as well, because I've been doing both since I started,
Yeah.
right? But again, primarily mostly focusing on the filing. So
Charting is
again,
cake.
it is.
Charting's cake. It's
I'm sorry.
it's charting's cake, but reading the book is hard.
Yeah,
The book,
sometimes,
reading the
man.
book, like looking at the map and trying to figure out what it's gonna do. All right,
Mm-hmm.
not that hard. Getting onto, let's say, going into the index and trying to figure out, like, hey, wait a second, just from the index, just from the words, like, where is it taking me? A lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it is. And I truly think that's why most people steer away from, as well as there's an excitement with the chart, right? When you're reading stuff, it's black and white. And maybe a couple of colors here or there, right? But it's black and white, it's boring.
We
When
love
you're looking at the
colors.
chart, there's colors, there's EMAs, there's MAs, there's double top, double bottom, chicken sideways, this scratch here, that's up there. Like again, it's so much information that
Right.
your senses are getting like overloaded with like dopamine, like, ooh, what if it goes here and this other stuff. And again, for me, I like the boring stuff because it's black and white. And these filings, they are contracts that need to be upheld. Contracts that if you say you're going to do X and I sign here and you sign here, I'm going to have your ass in court, right? And that's the other piece, is like all of this stuff is all contracts, right? So if you can understand the contract, then you understand I think it was today or yesterday we were talking about SEPA, right? Which is a standard purchase agreement,
Right.
which basically means like, hey, J Rock, I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm in. If you want to sell these 20 bottles of Hennessy for $10, even though you're selling them for $50 now, in 2 years, if they're $10, I'll buy them,
Oh yeah,
right?
we
And
looked
that
at
and
that.
that's basically what it is. However, everyone just shorts the fuck out of the stock because they know they're going to be able to accumulate, or excuse me, or cover their short once the price hits that triggering event. And that's a key word to look up: triggering event, right? There's triggering events for bankruptcies, triggering events for adjustment of warrants, inducement of warrants, floor prices. Like there's all of these key things that happen based on, hey, listen, I told you I would do this. If the price stayed here, the price is not here. So now it's down here, which triggered an event, which means I get to convert my 100 million into as many shares as it's needed to cover that $100 million at 10 cents. Oh, fuck, that's like, I don't know, 200 billion shares or whatever. And again, I'm
Right.
just kind of making up these numbers. You
Yeah.
guys understand the thought process, right?
Right. It's
Is
trading. It's
it's in the filings, man. These are
right.
all contracts that need to be upheld. Understand the contract. Just like you do when you go, and again, not a lot of people understand the contract when they go to buy a car or a house or whatever,
Oh.
but you should.
Well, I should.
You should.
I freaking worked in the car business for a long time, and
Exactly.
I was in finance, and you'd be surprised how many people don't actually read the contract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And imagine
So
how much stuff they slipped in those contracts, right?
I'm trying to. That's why I have this. Is I'm trying to regain my aura, my good. I'm giving back to the world.
I see that, right? But I'm being facetious, right? But
Right.
again, if you really think back, right? Imagine your first day on that job, and you're not privy to the information prior. You're starting, then you're giving that contract to somebody to sign about, hey, this is your car, this is your payments, yada yada yada. And then like 5 months down the road, you start looking at it, and then you go and ask your manager, and they're like, oh yeah, that's where we slip it in, that we make an extra $45
Right.
because of XYZP. And it's like, yeah, nobody reads that, but we just lump it in, and then we make an extra 45. You get 20, I get 20, and
Well,
somebody gets 5. Like,
you know what? Since we're on the subject of cars and buying cars and that kind of stuff right now, Whenever you go to a dealership, all you walk in, and when they go, hey, well, you looking for a car? Yeah, will you be financed? Nope, I'm paying cash. That locks them up. They can't slip anything in. And then you could always tell them, no, I decided I'm going to finance. But you never tell them like what payment you want after you tell them like, hey, yeah, I want to finance. Because you tell them what payment you want, they'll give you a payment. They'll give you exactly what you want, but they'll slip like $3,000-4,000 in the back in warranties for the finance guy to sit there and go, how am I going to spread this around, and how am I going to make it sound like, hey, your payment only goes up $10, but you got tire and wheel protection, you got window protection, you got asphalt protection, and your payment only goes up $5. Who cares? Yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Exactly.
You just bought a Honda Fit for $51,000. Congratulations. I was that guy. I sold a Honda Fit. A Honda Fit for $51,000.
Dude, you need a lot of repenting going on here.
Oh man, there's been so many years already. I was a CNA. I repented a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
But again, it's as you're speaking of your life experiences, right?
Yep.
And now you think about it in this context of what I'm saying about these are contracts. Now I'm not looking for the stuff that makes sense. I am looking for the shit that doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm looking at, right? Or looking for. And that's the kind of stuff that over the course of time, you kind of develop like, all right, the first page is all fluff. Page number 3, got a little bit of juice, but nothing really substance. Number 5, that's the page I need to go to because every time I read a filing, number 5 always seems to be, and I'm just using it as an example, number 5 always seems to have something good. And number 15, that's where they air the dirty laundry. Got to check number 15. And you build yourself a roadmap, right? And I'm not saying to do this off of the first 5 filings that you read, but if you read 40 or 50 of them and it's a common denominator, 5, 15, and whatever other page, then you have substance, right? And then you can continue to evolve your methodology of, hey, this is what I need to know from these filings. And
Right.
each one of the filings is going to be different. So for a 8K, maybe it's just I just need to read the whole thing. For a 424B3, which is a resale perspective, I need to read number 5, 8, 20, and 15 and 50. That's it. Right? For a 424B5, which is an aftermarket, I need to read number 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like and you have your list for depending again on which filing,
Right.
what you read. However, and I say this, you will become incredibly fast, right? Because your eyes are going to know what to focus on. And you, after doing your like 100th filing and it's a 424B5, you're like, all right, page number 5. All right, we go halfway down the page. Is that what I'm looking for? And then it's not I'm reading the entire thing. It's I'm skimming the entire thing, looking for what I'm looking for.
Right, and it could take less than 10 minutes while you're doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then
But
but for me, like when I'm doing this stuff, when I'm doing the charting, and I find the tickers that I like, then I can go to the SEC or newsfinder.io. Then I could go in there and look for like, hey, okay, I like this chart, I like the way it looks. It finally got some volume. Now let me go to Newsfinder. Let's see any filings that I should be aware of recently, like on EDBL. Shoot. That could have been a problem avoided because of that filing. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
So and again, it's it'll take you 10 minutes to go through it at some point.
That's something.
But maybe for the first 100, it'll take you like an hour, maybe 2 hours. But it's time well spent.
And like you
it's
said,
time well spent.
Like you said on our first video that we did when you were going over, I don't remember what stock, but you were going over it. You were going over the 10Q, and you told me to search Control F. Told me to search certain words. That's another thing is like because I've been watching videos and I've been scouring. I've been trying to find whatever I can to figure out what I really need to look through, because when you're reading those, you just get lost in a lot of words, a lot of numbers, and until you start understanding those words, you're not going to get anywhere. So I started looking up the words. I started using my little chat girl that didn't work today, but I started using her, and then all of a sudden the stuff started to make more sense. Then I found another person that mentioned certain keywords to search for, and I mean, it's all coming together, but it's all going to be it's a work in progress. You guys aren't going to get it like the right now. You might get it like in a week, you know, but it's just that repetition.
Maybe 7 months to a year.
Well,
Again, to be full, again, this is what you do full time. Some people, this is their spare
true,
hobby, right?
true
So
story. Gotcha.
I'm saying 7 months to a year
True
to
story.
really get like, hey, I have a list of like 80 words that I control F, and I go through depending on which of the filings I'm going through,
That makes
right?
sense. That makes a lot
Um,
of sense.
yep.
Makes
So,
a
and
lot of
again,
sense.
it takes time, man. And everybody wants it right now. Everybody wants it
Oh,
immediately, and that's what the charts give you. The charts give you almost instant gratification,
well, but
and in this
but
way,
they do and they
it's
don't.
delayed gratification.
Like you
Yeah,
said, they
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 give you a lot
do
of pain too.
they do and they don't. But they can really hurt you if you don't know about, like, on edible. I mean, Jesus, that thing went to, again, 36 cents or 40 cents or something. And that news
Yeah,
that
it's like
came out,
40
that news was out
something. Yeah.
there. It went to 41 cents. That news was out there. It pumped from 20 cents to 41 cents in pre-market. And then immediately, once it hit 41 cents, it dumped on a 5 minute candle. It went from 41 to 30. It dumped 11 cents. The next candle was red too. It dumped another, what, 2, 3 cents? That
Mhm.
that could really mess up your account. Especially, let's just say you had a stop loss. You had,
Mhm.
let's just say you had a stop loss, at what, 30 cents, because you bought in at, I don't know, 35 cents.
Yeah,
You would have gotten wrecked. But
happens
but
every
that's,
day.
that is the market. It's just money exchanging hands. And the good thing is like Cornelius keeps saying, is, you know learn to read the script, and then you'll be fine. You'll catch these things before they even happen.
Yep.
Know what you're
Yeah.
getting into, kind of stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Like my wife wishes she would have known.
Hey, listen,
Ooh.
all type of stuff, man. So yeah,
That
on that
was
note,
easy.
I think it's been an hour. This should
Yeah.
give you some good information to clip or however you want to do it.
I'm gonna post the
Um,
whole thing on the website, like I did with the
okay,
other one. It's gonna be up on YouTube as soon as I click the off button. So you guys have
well
have
there you go.
have at it, have fun. Rewind it, do your thing. But yeah, man, this guy right here, he's for the 3 years that he's been learning all this stuff, he knows it pretty well. So it's pretty awesome that he shares this information with us. So give him a a round of applause, or a thank you, or a pay it forward kind of thing, right?
Absolutely, pay it forward. Yeah.
There
So
you go.
again, I appreciate the shout out and yeah, I think again for your subscriber,
Oh,
just
Jesus Christ!
for
Accidental
your
accidental button.
for your subscriber, I just wanted to make sure that they received the information and they're able to go back and watch this. And what I will say this many times: repetition. Just like we read the news or whatever we do, it's repetition. So
Yep.
instead of watching a football game, go read the
Whoa,
news or a filing.
whoa, whoa.
I thought that would get you up in a little,
Uh,
yeah.
but hey, on
Hey,
on the same respect as, pay it forward. Like, when you do figure out what you're gonna do, whether you're gonna do a channel or you're gonna do something else, like, as soon as you give me the information, I'm gonna share it with them. Because, I mean, again, like, the information you shared with us today, the information you shared with us last time, the time before that, it is 1,000% valuable because you can literally start applying it today. The website you gave, newsfilter.io, as soon as you gave that, put it up on the website. And I keep telling people about it pretty much every time I go live because that is an amazing website. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and you get
Yep.
immediate news. You can check if there's a filing. I mean,
Yep.
why search all these different sources when this thing literally pulls from different sources?
Exactly.
So very
Exactly.
valuable information. And like I said, I appreciate the shit out of you. So as soon
Oh,
as you
man,
give me,
I appreciate you as well, and the community. I will tell you, trading is a lonely journey, and majority of the time, I sit in my basement with screens and just me. So again, I like to talk sometimes, but again, it's nice to share what I know, and then for others to be able to understand the value and then implement the stuff. That's the most important thing, right? Because
yep,
knowledge is great,
yeah,
but unless you take it and do something with it, it's nothing. Right? It
one
doesn't
ear,
it doesn't do
one ear
anything.
out the other, right? Yep.
That's
But
it,
yeah,
man.
so
That's it.
guys, this will be up on jrockstocks.com. It's in the profile. It's going to be Game Changers episode 3. Cornelius explaining UPXI, and yeah, it's free. You don't pay for it. It's members. You just become a member. It's free. And then as soon as he has
Yep.
his information, that'll be posted under helpful sites, helpful links, or whatever he wants to do with it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's coming. I'm in the middle of not only trading but
Right.
researching. But again, it's definitely something that I am putting together in the background, and once it's ready to go out there, then of course I'll be more than happy to share it with you and your subscribers, and we'll go from there. But again, instead of watching a football game, go read a filing.
Well,
And I will
we'll grow
tell you,
together, man. We'll grow together.
I will tell you my philosophy on that, right? This is
Football?
this is my philosophy.
Ah,
Not
crap.
just football, any sports in general, right? Any sports in general.
Right.
And if you take nothing away from what I've said this afternoon, please take this. These people get paid millions of dollars to play a sport, while we who are struggling to make it every day are cheering and giving them our time, which is non-refundable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our energy and the little money that we have. It makes no sense. I haven't watched a football game in 3 years.
You know,
3 years.
I gotta say it is one of my, like, I don't sit there and watch other games. I watch my game. That's it. I care about my game. But in the respect of when people wash dishes or do whatever they do,
Yep.
I on Sunday when the game's on from point A to point B, that is my time. I tell my wife, "Hey, I'm right here. Like, I just want to watch this game. That's it." So it's my way of relaxing. It's my way of telling my kid to go throw on his hat and his jersey or whatever he's got. It's my way of saying, "Hey, come on, let's kick it on the couch. Let's make some good food and watch a game." I'm not sitting there watching every game. I just care about my game. And then after, like,
Fair
I
enough.
wake up. So I wake up even on Saturdays, Sundays. I wake up at 3, 4 in the morning anyway. So I'm sitting at my computer. I'm doing the research. I'm trying to learn everything. So
Yeah, but so what I just said, please don't take it as any context for you, right? I'm just saying
I'm so mad at
in
you.
general. I'm just saying in general. Like, and again, if you really think about it, and some of these stories, like, people are going to baseball games,
Oh
football
yeah.
games, and getting into fights
Oh dude,
because their team,
they mortgage
like,
houses. They mortgage their house to get season tickets. It's like, now come
it
on.
makes no sense. It makes no sense, right?
Some people,
These people are getting paid
different priorities.
millions. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
but they're getting paid millions, man. And like I said, I think I said this to you before. I would rather, instead of watching it in my house, I'd rather be in a box, right?
You know? One day. One day.
One day.
Remember, you said I was going to be in a corner. You'll come over to my box and then, we'll high five or something and be like, hey, I thought you said we were going to be charting,
Yeah,
but we're watching the game. What the hell?
exactly. No, well, we can bring our laptops. You can chart from there. And I'll tell you, this is the crazy thing with people. And once they become successful, it's something that they've been working at forever. And I say forever, right? Because it's a goal and you just constantly are making small progress, small
Right.
progress. I'm going to tell you, right? As an example, when you hit, not if, right? But when you hit like $1 million, I guarantee you, you will go to the game, sit in the box, and not enjoy it the same because you will be focused on how you make the next million.
Mm.
Because that's going to be your focus is like, how do I duplicate what I just did? These people already got their millions. I just got one. How do I make it two? And then how do I make two into three?
You just got to make
It's
it
like
compound. That's it.
yeah.
You just got to make it
I know, but
compound. Look, so a lot of people, again, like when I was sitting there, when I first started and I was doing swing trades pretty much all the time, like I was in my mind, I had, okay, let me get 10%. Let me get 20%. It started growing. And then I started to get greedy. If I
yeah.
would have just kept the 10, 15% mentality, I who knows where I'd be right now. But I got greedy and I literally got stuck in a trade and I lost like I want to say 35,000 in literally minutes. It was a penny stock.
Happened.
It wasn't a swing trade. I went in. I was day trading at that point, and I went all in because Craig CREG decided to run really nicely, and I was like, oh sweet, I just made 10 G's. Like that was awesome. 5 minutes? What? Cool. All in. Let's go. Because I saw a dip, and I was like, ooh, this is the dip. This is a loading zone. This looks amazing. And I was like, screw it, all in. It ran. It was like literally minute, 2 minutes. I'm like, holy shit, I'm up 20 G's. Oh my God, I'm almost up $40,000. And then all of a sudden, rug pull thing dropped so hard. As I'm clicking the sell button on my computer, because it halted, my computer froze. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, where's my phone? My phone's downstairs. Great. I get downstairs. It's a 5 minute halt, right? I get downstairs and I'm like, where the fuck is it? Where? And I'm freaking out. My wife's screaming at me like, what are you doing? What is the matter with you? I'm like, and I'm probably as pale as a freaking ghost. I get downstairs. I find my phone, which was literally tucked in the corner of the couch. I'm like, oh my God. And I look and I'm like, I have 5,000 left. I have $5,000 left. And she goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, the $40,000 that I had to trade with, I have $5,000 left. And she goes, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, nope, not kidding at all. And I mean, at that point, I was zonked out. I'm like, I'm done with this. And I literally quit trading for about a year. I want to say it was a year.
Wow.
Those learning lessons. So here, look, another learning lesson right here. I'm gonna flip the screen real quick. People on YouTube can't see it. There is a letter right there that I wrote myself because I got caught in CEI. I made a shit ton of money. Made a shit ton of money on CEI, and then that news came out that the CEO's a piece of crap and everything he's been saying is a huge lie and da 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 da. It was like a 1 minute candle that literally took $3,400 out of my account. Still had profit since I got in it, but it was like, holy shit, I just lost $3,400. So I wrote it, and it reminds me every day, like, hey, don't do that anymore. That's bad. Know your limits. So
Yep. And I think those are good lessons. And I am, as many times as I've seen those videos and seen people lose, nothing helps me remember than when I lose.
Right.
Because
Right.
then it like really, I feel it. Right. And
Yeah.
I don't want to feel that way again. So, like I said, man, a lot of life lessons. And again, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, right? When. So yeah, we'll just continue doing this. And if you have a stock, or maybe you want to do the breakdown on edible, right? Because again, you talked about it multiple times now. Or somebody else had another stock that they wanted, and again, this is like post-mortem, so the stock had to have run and died.
Right.
And then we can go back and kind of figure out what happened. And if you do it enough, you will see a pattern. Underwriter, they put out a price target, they pump the stock, they dump the stock, HC Wainwright, a Maxim,
Yep.
whatever you want it. And you will be able to then start creating a checklist. Like, is it an HC Wainwright pump, or is it a Maxim pump, or is it a Canaccord, or is it a Goldman Sachs? Like, who's pumping this stock, right?
And
once you know,
what's their habit?
then you know their playbook.
Yep.
Exactly.
What's their habit?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
awesome, man.
But on that note,
that was
I'm
fun.
gonna leave you.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right, dude.
Coming on. I'll see
All
you.
right,
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll pop in. I'll
All right,
pop in
man.
the morning.
Have a
All right,
great
later.
night. Thanks a lot, dude.
Yep. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Well, there you guys have it. I'm gonna end the stream on YouTube. So you guys are done. Peace. And then